Good evening and welcome to the John Gaunt podcast. My God, there's so much to talk about. I want to talk about, can Farage and Yusuf stop the boats, ditch the European Convention on Human Rights, and indeed ban the burqa? They're saying they can. What's your view? But as I come on air, the breaking news is that at long last, Mandelson has been arrested by plainclothes coppers in London and been taken to a London police station for questions under caution. So I want to talk about that as well. I did a podcast earlier today about Andrew, how I feel he's being used as the sacrificial lamb. I've got no time for him either. No time for either of them, let me assure you. But I want due purpose to happen. And I want them, if they have got charges, if they are charged, they need to be before a court and judged by 12 men and women, their equals. Do you agree with me? But Mandelson, that's the breaking news as I come on air, has now been arrested. I want your opinion on that, please, as well. And where does it leave Britain? The fact that that Andrew and Mandelson, they're accused of betraying us effectively in public office, giving our secrets away. That's what the accusation is. It's not all the sex stuff Epstein at this moment. It's purely about betraying our country. If they're proved guilty, they're traitors, aren't they? What's your view on that? But the other big news today is about Reform UK. At last, politicians are talking my language, and I think probably your language too, because the country is boiling over. To tonight, I do still want to ask this. The question millions are shouting at their TV every single evening: can Nigel Farage and Echr Yusuf do what the political establishment, the Uni Party, won't, can't, or have failed to do? In other words, can they stop the boats, get out of the European Convention on Human Rights, and ban the burqa? Can we do it? As Bob the Builder would say, yes, we can. But let's go through what he's proposed today. I'm going to tear into Reform UK's latest proposals on borders, sovereignty, and, of course, integration. There'll be no sugarcoating, no political correctness, and definitely no BBC-style waffle or sitting on the fence, or bias, as I prefer to call it. We want to talk about illegal crossings. Yusuf says he's going to stop them. He's going to stop the boats. He's going to basically detain, deter, detain, and deport, which is what I've been going on about for ages. He's going to get us out of the Echr. Those handcuffs are coming off, and that's a legal necessity as far as I'm concerned. And he's gone further, because he's now saying he wants a ban on all face coverings, including the burqa. That's plain common sense, isn't it? And some people say, no, that'll lead to a culture clash. I don't give a shit. There's no place for the burqa in modern, tolerant Britain. And so then I'm asking you the final question. With these proposals he's put forward today, this morning, 11 o'clock he did it, have Reform UK just won the general election? I'm tempted to say yes. What do you say? Will they deliver, or will they let us down? Let's have your views. Put them in the comment box, and we'll come to them as soon as we can. But that's what we're talking about. Nigel Farage, Echr Yusuf, Reform UK, stopping the boats, the Echr, leaving it, and the burqa ban, because we've got an immigration crisis. This is UK politics delivered in a much more dynamic way than you'll get on the BBC. We're talking free speech. We're talking common sense. We're talking politics. My name's John Gaunt, and this is JonGauntTV. Do you want to join in? Just put a comment in that box, and I'll come to it as soon as I can. 4 people liking what I'm doing, loads of people watching. If you're watching for the first time, it's JonGauntTV. It's live on Twitter. It's live on YouTube. Please press the like button. That's all you have to do to get involved. Put a comment in the comment box. I'll read them out. And let's move from there. Let's get discussing this. What do you make of the fact now that Mandelson has been arrested? I think it's great. I think it's taken too long. I don't know whether he's guilty or not. That's what we'll find out. But it's good that he is now being given the tug, so to speak. Your opinion, please. What a mess this country is in. If you're a first-time listener, please tell me when you write your comment up, and we'll come to that as well. How pleased are you about, I nearly said Starmer. I'd be overjoyed if that was the case. Yeah, but that's the question. Now that Mandelson is being questioned, where does it leave Starmer? Starmer's the one who gave him the job of being US ambassador. We are just a joke country at this moment. Do you agree? Let's have your opinion. Right. Let's also, before we come to your questions, let's talk about what Echr Yusuf has said today. He wants a burqa ban. All face coverings, including burqas and indeed hoodies, are going to be banned to boost safety. Well, that's the excuse he's giving. I think he's right. Don't forget, he's a Muslim himself. He now wants a burqa ban. He wants a ban on all face coverings. Seems to me to be plain common sense. Nigel Farage is backing it as well. So my question at the moment is, do you think that Farage and Yusuf have got the balls to pull this off? I mean, they've got Suella Braverman on board as well, and she was against the burqa as well, wasn't she? Another Muslim. She said it should be banned in all public places. But in this big speech today, what he was basically talking about was a national security emergency. I've been saying we should call a national emergency for about the last 6 months. How many more people are we going to let in at Dover? The so-called flip-flop warriors, men of fighting age. We don't know who the hell they are, and still they come. Starmer does nothing. He hasn't got a deterrent policy. He doesn't deport them, does he? Well, he deports some, but they're mostly people who want to go back. And he certainly doesn't detain them. Everyone who breaks into our country illegally should be kept behind a barbed wire fence and not allowed out willy-nilly, because they are criminals, only in the sense of they've broken into the country. Because we cannot and must not keep putting our young people, our women, our wives, our children, our sisters, our mums in harm's way. How many more violent sexual attacks do we need before someone gets a grip? Well, Echr Yusuf today, he says he is getting a grip. He says he's going to deliver net negative immigration by deporting more than 600,000 people in Reform's first term in office. He's setting up what's called UK Deportation Command, billed as a British version of the American ICE. They're going to hunt down illegal migrants, and they could detain up to 24,000 at once and basically have 5 removal flights a day. It sounds brilliant, but will they have the balls to do it? Some of the scenes in America, in Minneapolis and places like that, even I've shuddered. They've gone a bit far. And do you remember when Theresa May had this thing about setting up a hostile environment? They tried, well, they succeeded. They stopped it. Already, the bleeding heart liberals are bleating about human rights. But I agree with Echr Yusuf. It's time to put the human rights of the British public first and put them above the rights of anyone who's been a criminal and broken into our country. Do you agree? He also said today he's going to proscribe the Muslim Brotherhood, about bloody time, and Iran's IRGC to stop the spread of Islamist extremism. And one of the things was a bit controversial, you might want to pick up on this. He wants to stop churches being turned into mosques. Is that a priority? I'm not so sure. But what do you think? But he's going to automatically list Christian buildings. So that's what he wants. And then on top of all this, he's going to have stop and search zones in knife hotspots and massive, stricter laws against anybody who helps people break in illegally to our country. Do you believe that Reform UK will pull this off? Let's have your view. And your views, of course, on the big breaking news, which is Mandelson. My God, there's a lot to talk about. If you want to join in, put your comments in the comment box, and I shall come to them in a moment, an absolute moment. If you like the show, press the like button. If you're on YouTube, don't forget the best way to support me is by joining JonGauntTV, become a subscriber. It's free. Just go on YouTube, search for JonGauntTV and press subscribe. Say yes when it asks you. A pop-up comes up. And then that'd be brilliant. And if you want to donate to keep these independent broadcasts going, and the way Starmer's going, we're going to need the independent media more than ever, just press the little $ now and donate anything you can. Anything you can. A couple of quid, a fiver, a tenner, 100, 1,000, I don't know. Or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and donate anything from a fiver upwards. Plenty to talk about in tonight's show. Let's get going. Let's go to Colin Duffin. He's our first one. He says, sorry, but Reform won't be able to stop them. That might be your opinion. Why don't you tell me how or why? Because that's a little bit more interesting, Colin. Why do you think Reform won't be able to do it? He says he's going to scrap the ECHR. He's going to get out of that. He says he's going to deport thousands every week. Do you not believe him? Is it the fact that you've lost faith in British politicians? I don't know. Give me a bit more information. Joseph Hodgetts. Reform has a better chance than any other political party of sending the illegal immigrants back home. I agree with you, Joseph, because in the end, it isn't even about tactics. It's about political will, isn't it? And I think they've got the political will to do it. The problem, see if you agree with me on this, is the blob, is the civil service, the Home Office, the civil servants. Will they allow this to happen? Or will they put obstacles in the way? Obviously, all the usual suspects, the bleeding heart liberals, the Green Party, that bunch of Marxists, them lot, they'll hate it. They'll hate this idea, and they'll say that it's racist. Well, see, Yusuf himself is a Muslim. It's not racist. It's about saying our country is valuable. And if you want to live here, you've got to come through the proper system. Why should these people be able to jump the queue? Other people come through the system. They should. And if they don't, we're going to deter them by booting them out of the hotels, put them in tents. We're going to detain them, every single one, behind barbed wire fences. They shouldn't be able to walk into the centre of Nuneaton and rape girls. That's plain common sense. We've got to have borders. That's what makes a great country. And thirdly, we're going to deport them. Or at least Reform say they are. Do you think Reform have got the bottle to do this? Do you think Farage has? Let's have your views. David KT says, with Mandy now arrested, the house of cards will fall. I think you may well be right. I think he'll sing like a bloody canary. I really do. I do. And I think Starmer's got himself in a right pickle because Starmer ignored the Secret Service, didn't he? And said, no, I'm giving the job to Mandy. People said, no, don't do that. Look at his record. And this is how he repaid him. The Prince of Darkness. He ain't coming back from this. I'm not saying he's guilty. And of course, even if they get through this stage, Then we want to find out what's happening with Epstein. The more I read about that, the more angry I get. I mean, I was saying in the other podcast, have a listen later or watch it later, the one I made this afternoon about 2:00, because I was talking about why is everybody focusing on a witch hunt on Andrew? Don't get me wrong, he's a slime ball by the look of it, and I've not got a real problem with that. But Mandelson was getting forgotten. Mandelson was our ambassador in America, in Washington, and appointed by our Prime Minister, Starmer, the spineless blancmange. This is a massive scandal. And I think you're right. Who was that who just said that a minute ago? David KT in Coventry. I think it's all going to blow apart now. I hope. And when it comes to the way they were focusing on Andrew, and lots of people fell into this trap. Oh, yeah, he's this, he's that. Hold on a minute. If you believe in the rule of law and order, and I do, he's got to have a fair trial. And at the moment, Andrew's not going to get a fair trial because he's basically going to say, well, everybody thinks I'm guilty already. That can't be right. So people should shut up on that level, shouldn't they? But I thought he was being used as a smokescreen because I want to know what Mandelson was up to. I want to know what all those other rich blokes were up to in America. I want to know why America hasn't started arresting people. Paedophilia. And I also want to know, did the mainstream media and government collude so it all becomes about Andrew? Every fucking bulletin you turn on, Andrew, formerly Mountbatten, whatever they're calling him. Can't we talk about the grooming gangs? Can we please talk about the industrial rape of thousands of British white girls by largely men of Pakistani Muslim backgrounds? It's all been hidden. It's all been covered up for years. And even now, I feel they were using Andrew as a diversion tool so they don't have to address it. We know Starmer didn't want a public inquiry. I know he says, I'm the director of public prosecutions. Jimmy Savile never came across his desk. Oh, yeah, about the only one who didn't. I want to know what Starmer was up to when he was. I want a full inquiry into Starmer when he was DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions. He was about as much use, by the look of it, as a chocolate bloody fireguard. Den Spinks, I've heard one or two politicians talk about consequences of leaving the ECHR. What they actually meant, I don't know. If they can achieve leaving, surely it can't get any worse than it already is. I say FUCK, the ECHR, John. I agree with you. Well, other countries, look at, what country is it? Hungary, isn't it? They haven't even bothered leaving. Some countries just say, up yours to the ECHR. We're going to patrol our own borders. A country without borders is not a country. It's just an area, a region of the European Union, which, oh, forgive me, I thought we'd left. But again, Starmer, the slime ball, is trying to take us back in. Maggie Young, what do you want to say tonight? We should all wear a burqa for a day. Hang on, what's this about? Total nightmare for security. Show your face. Boats are invaded. Plus our royal family are being brought down. You're right. Churches are being converted into mosques. No. Thank you, Maggie, for your comments. I tell you what's interesting there, Maggie. The thing about the churches and the royal family, the two things are linked. I think there's a significant number of people, not all Muslim people, but liberals in this country, who hate our way of life, hate our culture. Unfortunately, some of them are in the government. They hate our flag. They hate the way we celebrate. They hate the working class. They hate white working class people in particular, right? So they kind of are bringing down the country. Bringing down the country with stuff like rainbow laces in policemen's boots. And basically, you can't apply for this job unless you're a black lesbian with one-leg Albanian folk dancer or something, yeah? We don't want all this. We're quite happy having a diverse nation. I'm more than happy with people who've come here, worked hard, and are different to me. Of course I am. I'm not happy with people who come here and think we owe them a fucking living when we don't. And also, when so many people, I was in this pub on Saturday with some old mates. You know, when you meet up and I was saying earlier, it's the unexpected pint. We had the unexpected pint and watched the rugby. By the way, Ireland trashed us, as you know. And good luck to them. They did well. They were much better than England. But, so we had the unexpected pint. Well, several really. But we got talking. There was a very successful businessman. I mean successful. There was me on my uppers. There was my mate Phil, who's a drummer and a musician and has run pubs and runs businesses. And there was Mick, who's the licensee of the boozer. Everybody was saying, I'm going to vote reform. They can't be worse than what we've got. Oh, what about the fact they're inexperienced? I don't care. And they were all saying, we need to get out of the ECHR. They want to get the flip-flop warriors out of the country. They've got no time for them whatsoever. But if you said to them, well, do you think you're racist? They say, of course I'm not bloody racist. Look at the pub. Look at the people who are in here. We're not racist. But there are uber liberals in our society who want to make us feel guilty. They've already taken over the schools, the universities, and are making our children feel guilty. White guilt or whatever they call it. It's like that nonsense last night at the BAFTAs. Did you watch it? The bloke who the film's based on, right? I swear, right? Which I can't wait to see. Yeah. He basically used the N word, right? He can't help himself. He's got Tourette's. Some people, some black people, now some are being very sensible. Some are saying, that's terrible. We shouldn't have to hear that. He's got an illness, a disability. That Norinda Kaur, or whatever her name is, right? I mean, she's got a disability. She's a moron. You know the woman I'm talking about? She's always on Jeremy Wine's show. She's been banging on about it today. And then the BBC apologised. Why should they apologise? The man's ill. When I was in the pantomime, yes, with Vicky Michelle in St Albans, yes, I played the man who had to kill Snow White, right, basically, for her, but I had a heart of gold, so I couldn't do it. Best thing about being in the panto, I got to wear Michael Elphick's costume. He'd worn it a few years earlier, and he's one of my heroes. But anyway, in this panto, right, there was one day when the bloke who ran the place, Roger, came to us and said, there's a girl who's going to be in tonight and she's going to shout out, quack, quack. I said, what do you mean, quack? He said, she's got a disability. She's got Tourette's, but she doesn't swear. She makes the sound. I'm laughing now because it is a bizarre story, but she makes the sound of a duck. And he said this to the whole cast. Vicky Michelle's there, me, Rodri Williams, do you remember him? He used to be on with Rolf Harris. He was in the panto as well. And he said, can you please just ignore it and carry on? Somebody said, well, can't we just ban her because won't she ruin it for other people? To which he replied, no. This is a council-run venue and she has a right to come as much as anyone else. It was a bit of a lesson for me. And although, I've got to admit, she was fucking annoying, right? Quack! Especially when I was singing the Tom Jones song. What was the Tom Jones song? Sex God, is it? Or Sex Machine? Or I had to sing that to Vicky. I know. Every teenage boy's fantasy. To Vicky Michelle, right? And I tell you what, Vicky Michelle, what a lovely person she is. And what's that thing? Sex God, sex done. And if you know me, I can't sing. What's the song? Anyway, I had to do that. So I'm halfway through it and I'm thrusting. I'm doing me Tom Jones. And she goes, quack. Which actually wasn't a bad criticism of our performance. Maybe she was saying crap. I don't know. But last night at the BAFTAs, I thought it was disgusting. And then the man left, didn't he? And this whole film, I swear, is about us trying to understand Tourette's. But those lovers, they don't like it, do them? They don't like it. She could have shouted another word, like fuck off or whatever, right? It's like the bloke who played the part. He won Best Actor and Best Newcomer, right? The second time, he should have gone up and said, fucking hell, I can't fucking believe it. I fucking won the thing and I've got to... No, I just thought that would have been funny. Maybe it's my sense of humour. But anyway, can't wait to see. There were some good films. What's happened? How come we're suddenly making good movies? Can't wait to see them. Right, let's get back to your comments. Maggie, we've done yours. She wants everyone to wear a burqa. There's quite a few people I'd like to wear a burqa. Try and change a mosque into a church. Imagine the outcry. Yes, Den, good point on Facebook. But the point is, the mosques are still popular. we've got to look at ourselves and say, why aren't the churches popular? And also, would you want them just left? I don't know. Take your views. Oak 4 Warrior, flip-flop Farage on YouTube. So he's got no confidence in him doing it. Pamela Hardman says no. What? No to what? What? No to them being able to do it? Fair enough. Let's have some more comments. Taxi driver 2107. Good evening, John. Good evening, taxi driver. Let's move on. Of course they can. It's just political will. This is talking about, can Farage and Yusuf do this? I want to know, do you think they've just won the election with these policies? I think they have. They have a plan to stop the blob, as they and everybody knows is entirely possible with a plan. So, yeah, you've got to be able to beat the civil service. Because the thing is, Peter, of course, Peter Lynch on YouTube, is that they derailed in America Trump in his first term, didn't he? So he's come back this time and he's taken them on and destroyed them, and he's now getting what he wants done. Your views. God, we need a Trump in our country, don't we? Richard Pope says, good evening, John. I've got the BBC 6 o'clock news on in the background. They only aired Mandelson's arrest for 6 minutes. It just shows how biased they are. Yeah, well, Lisa was telling me, she was listening to the radio on the way home, and it said, Peter Mandelson's been picked up with by men in plain clothes. He probably likes that. Anyway, stop it. In men in plain clothes with walkie-talkies. She said they didn't say it was the police. It made it sound like it was a police state or something. I'm glad Mandelson's been arrested. Now he can give a full account of himself. You take a blue. Mandelson has been arrested. Yes, love. We know that. That's why it's at the top of the thing. Thank you. Mandy was a character played by Dick Emery, says taxi driver 2107. Ooh, you are awful. Was that the one? Brilliant. Dick Emery, didn't you just love him? And Harry Worth. Remember when Harry Worth does that bit in the shop window? Come on, I used to do that outside Barnaby's. Every kid I know wanted to be Harry Worth or Dick Emery. That was entertainment, wasn't it? That's entertainment. What a great song that is by The Jam. That's entertainment. Mandy was okay. Yeah, Mandy, she always had hot pants on, but it was Dick Emery, wasn't it? And kind of big, sort of pearly, like a pearly king's hat, didn't she? If I remember right. Ronnie Hurst, Starmer, the granny harmer. I think after the May elections, he's gone along with the government. Well, Ronnie, I'll give you a £5 for charity. I think he'll be gone at the end of this week because he's going to get absolutely trashed up in that by-election. It's because it's either going to be the Greens, God help us if they get in. It's either going to be the Greens or Reform. If it's Reform, he's finished. If it's the Greens, well, he'll have an excuse, won't he? And then that Zach, that gap-toothed twat, will be on every programme going, he wants to legalise all drugs. The guy's a moron. And people who I know are voting for him. Oh, he's a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air? How rancid is your life if you think that? Also, as Tony Blair's second, up the cigarette lickety split says. Also, as Tony Blair's second. Second what? Did it make sense when you wrote it or thought about it? Try and make it to make sense to me. Please make this make sense. I'm on fire. I'm going to have a weekend off again. Yeah, I had the weekend off. I was going to do a show yesterday, but I was absolutely knackered. I think maybe a bit hungover. Have you noticed that Guinness is a slow one? Ooh. You wake up in the morning, you open one eye, and you go, I got away with it. I've got away with it. I've got away with it. Then you open the other eye, and you think, oh, maybe not. And then by lunchtime, you feel like the inside of a budgie cage, don't you? Guinness, it's a slow one. It creeps up on you. This Guinness in this pub in Coventry, out of this world. Mick, my mate who owns it, he's owned it for 8. I asked him this weekend, I said, how long you had this pub now? 18 years. And do you remember old pubs? You used to go in and there'd be like the bar, there'd be the snug, there'd be the lounge, and they're all separate rooms. He's kept it like that. It's much better than those pubs where the bloody stupid licensed gangsters of breweries have come in and ripped it all out into one big open plan area. I love that pub. I will tell you what the pub's called. It's called The Oak. It's on the London Road in Coventry, opposite the cemetery. if you have too many Guinnesses. Superb. Taxi driver 2107 says people don't seem to grasp the idea that pedophilia is out of control worldwide. Correct. I think when this all does break, people are going to be so angry because the elites, well, let's wait and see. If you want to join in, let's have your opinion. Put your comments there. Please be patient. I'm getting to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to donate, please feel free to do that. Just click the little $ and donate a few quid. It'd really help because I get some money from the advertising now, but it's a trickle. I'm really supported by you. So if you want to keep independent broadcasting, and look, we're stormtroopers, we need an outlet. Please support me as much as you can afford. Don't skin yourself. Or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt and donate there. Excuse me. I've made a spaghetti bog today, and I had a taste of it just to make sure it was right before I came up, and now it's repeating by me. Not down below, up below. Oh, it's fabulous. Stop the free stuff. What free stuff? I don't give anything away. Oh, you mean the hotels? And turn back at sea. Close the borders and patrol our waters. That's all we need to do, says Who's This on YouTube. I probably agree with you on that. I've always said put the army on the beach, the navy in the channel, and then when they land, if they do still land, it's got to be deter, detain, deport. The 3 Ds. Well, they're banned. Pamela, one of my regulars, is on. Pamela Millett. Hiya, Pam. High population Muslims. They're now banning dogs. No, I saw that story. Yeah, they've been saying don't bring your dogs in our areas. What about that other story where there's a load of Muslims saying to that copper, because there was some guy preaching, and they said, you can't do that. This is a Muslim area. No. And the copper was brilliant. She should be the Metropolitan Commissioner. Be better than that left-wing liberal twat we've got. Is it Mark Rowley? This copper just basically said no. And she was dead stern, but dead calm. And she talked it down. Because these Muslim hotheads were going to kick off. I'm not saying all Muslims are hotheads, but these ones were. The Whitechapel. And did you see Jeff Banks? I did telly with him once, and what a nice bloke he is. But Jeff Banks, the fashion designer, he's now saying he went to his old sort of stomping ground where he was born, which is in the East End, and I've forgotten where it is now. Not Spitalfields. But anyway, and he said it just wasn't there. It's completely changed. And he just said, look, it's good to have integration and diversity, but maybe there's just an imbalance now. And now they're trying to call him a racist. You've got to have an identity. That's why I say when people come here, they've got to abide by our rules. And one of those rules is speaking English, reading it and writing it. Not wearing a burqa, looking like a bloody Dalek. No, treating women equally. Yes, that's what it's about. And none of that is racist. Don't be so stupid. And you know, I think more of us have got to stand up. And when people say, oh, that's wasted, we've got to just laugh at them. Just laugh. Say, don't be stupid. Don't be daft. Like that guy last night with the Tourette's, there should have been no mention of it whatsoever. And isn't it interesting? It's the Be Kind Brigade, people like that Div Nurinder, who have got upset. But then again, she'll get a few more bookings on Jeremy Wine's show, won't she? It's Nurinder. She hates everything about England, even though she lives here. Pathetic. She went to India and was telling everyone, oh, look, in India, a curry's only £2. Oh, look, trains are only this much. I've been to India, and it is cheaper. It's called economics, Nurinder. You think bint. Sorry, I shouldn't have called her a bint. I should have called her thick. But anyway, that's a separate issue. Let's move on. Yeah, banning dogs. You're right. Nonsense. Do you know the police don't take their dogs into Muslim houses in case people get offended? What's that all about? And have you seen the other one about prison wardens now have got to wake up people gently rather than saying, get out of your beds? Imagine Fulton Mackay on a diversity course. I watched I Swear last night, John. It's absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it enough, says Phil Daniel. Is it out on Netflix or something, Phil? I haven't seen it. I want to watch it. I thought the kid was great. The kid's from Hull. And of course, I lived in Hull for a bit, and all my relatives come from there. So that made me very interested in it. And he was in Hull Truck Youth Theatre, wasn't he? How brilliant was he? And that speech when he spoke and he said about Leah, I can't believe I'm up here with you. Oh, no, and you're down there. And he kind of gently took the mick out of Leo, whatever his name. Oh, I don't really rate him that much, you know. Not the young lad, that Leo. But anyway, different issue. Celt Saxon. I joined Restore Britain today. What do you want? A medal? How do you think they're going to achieve it? Surely you should now just be joining Reform. What's the next one? Paid the £5 to rent it. Oh, off the telly. Is it on net? It must be on one of those ones you've got to pay for. I might watch that tonight, Phil. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, here we go. David Edwards talking about Reform. He says they will talk the talk, but they are establishment. I think you're wrong, David. I think you're wrong, but I understand where you're coming from. Maggie Young. John. Sex bomb. That's right. That's the one, Maggie. Or are you saying I am a sex bomb? Huh? Yeah. Sex bomb, sex bomb. Da, 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 da. I had to sing that to Vicky Michelle. Hello, hello. You know, we know who we're talking about, don't we? I tell you what a glamorous, sexy woman. I don't know how, I mean, you mustn't talk about a lady's age, but she's got to be 70, 80. And she's still got a fantastic set of legs on her. And she did all the dancing. She was the star. She was absolutely brilliant. I was crap, but I was in it because I was on the local, on the local radio at the time. I did enjoy it, although knackering, absolutely knackering. 2 shows a day with kids puking and in between puking, throwing hard-boiled sweets at you. There's got to be an easier gig, surely. No one has donated even a single penny. Huh? I'm going to be back in pantomime or outside Primark in Coventry City Centre selling the big issue. Come on, you tightwads. Donate some cash to keep these podcasts going. Just click the little $ now or go to buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. God, I'm working my guts out here. What time is it, by the way? I don't want to be too late tonight. What's this now? Mick T 3390. Restore, not reform. Put Rupert's face on money. Stop the boats. Kim Won Starmer out. Well, the last bit I agree with, but this thing, there's almost a cult around Rupert, isn't there? He's not going to do it. It times against him. That's not me slagging him off. That's me just saying that's the reality. And what the right should be doing is united, not going your own separate ways. Denise Deacon, well, Reform need to come out strong because Rupert and Restore are nipping at their heels. I don't think they are. I think that's just on some websites. Hopefully, if they get in and keep to their pledges, it will be fantastic for this country. Well, you know what, Denise? That's where I am. That's where I am, sweetheart. They've got to be better. I said this a couple of months ago when I decided that's who I'm going to vote for, or Reform. And I was amazed in this pub, right, on Saturday. Everybody is voting for them. Everybody. And when you say, people say, if you vote Reform, you're a racist. People are getting very angry about being called racist because most people in our country are not racist. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. Next one. John, you are firing on all cylinders tonight. Yeah, I am. I'm working my balls off, Jackie. Thank you for the compliment. Hasn't produced any contributions yet, though. She's downstairs as well. She's back early from work. She's got the ledger out. She'll be asking me when I go downstairs, did you make any money? No. And that'll be it. Hasn't Italy put its navy out to stop the boats? Says somebody with a load of Chinese script in their name. Why don't you have a proper name on YouTube? Yes, they have. She's brilliant, isn't she? Giorgio Maloney or whatever her name is. Amarone. Oh, I love that wine. But no. But she's got bigger balls than any other politician in Europe, hasn't she? She's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. Top notch. loves Italy, believes in Italy, believes in Italian people. What's wrong with that? Doesn't mean you have to hate the English. That's why the EU was never going to work and never will work. Because a Brit wants to be a Brit. It's worse than that. English, you want to be English. I was still being English when we were getting hammered by the Irish. Although it was a bit of that Phil Lynott line, isn't it? Phil Lynott, when he goes, is there anybody with a bit of Irish in them at a gig? And some of them shout out, and then he goes, anybody want a bit? But anyway, in Coventry, everybody is Irish. Irish. They are. They used to call it Coventry County Coventry. One area called Camden, it's full of them. That's all right. We all get along. We rub along. World Cup's going to be interesting now, isn't it? With Mexico. I hope Reform UK gets into power and manages to do what they say. A government must look after its own people first. Phil's now telling me it's on Prime. £4.99 if you want to watch I Swear. Maybe I will tonight, although Lisa said she's knackered. But if she didn't go to bed, I might put that on, Phil. I might put that on. Steve Shaw, sorry, I've not pressed the button. If I was PM, I'd put the Navy in the channel and send the lot back. Well, that's what I'm saying. Out on Netflix in a month or so. What's out on Netflix? I thought you just said you paid for it. Make your mind up. Oh, it's going to be free, is it? Right. Annoying, John, to think breaking in and getting everything for free for committing crime is the ultimate attraction. Yeah, it is. It is. Man, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. If you're just joining in, press the like button. We need as many likes as we can. It helps the algorithm, which then means you get even more people watching. This podcast is getting more and more successful, and it's down to you. And it's down to you spreading the word, telling other people. Bring back Dad's Army. They don't like it up them. Well, joking aside, Jay, Fernando, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. How come during the Second World War, a bunch of old boys, right, fueled by Corporal Jones's sausages and a bit of extra meat ration, how come they stopped Nazis invading? The only one who got in was that submarine skipper. Don't tell him your name, Pike. Yeah, nobody else. And now we can't defend Dover. Crazy situation. What the hell is going on? Oh, I've got to tell you, I was in Coventry Sunday. There was this Abbott tribute band playing. Have you seen them in Coventry? Just playing in the Coventry prison. They were brilliant. They were outside Primark or one of the shops. They were brilliant. I could hear. They were so good. I could hear the drums in Nando's. I've got that wrong. I messed up my joke. I do apologise. The punchline is meant to be, I could hear the drums in Nando's, which I think now, you might be raising your eyebrows, but that song now, hear the drums from Nando, will be in your ear. Just like sex bomb. What's the next line? I'm a sex bomb. I don't know. I still love Tom Jones, don't you? Don't you think, well, don't make performers like that anymore. I've got no money to send you, but myself and Mrs. TD send our love and best wishes. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'll eat those later. That'll be great. The public sector are racist towards the British people. You mean the white British people? You might be right. Culturalists, and it needs to be preserved at any cost, says Fernando. J. Fernando, thank you. Great. I've worked with Vicky, says Phil. He's a drummer. Great. Lovely to get a box of chocolate and a Christmas card on my drum set when I did panto with her at Ipswich. She didn't have to do that. She's a lovely lady. Did she only give you a box of chocolates, Phil? Poor old you, mate. See, you should have danced for her. I can't tell you what she gave me, but it's better than a box of chocolates. Stop it, not that. Andrew RT says Coventry Ixtan. Coventry. What you mean? There's a lot of foreigners in Coventry. No comment. Jay Fernando, smiley face. Thank you. Judas Priest breaking the law, John. What are you on about, Den? I know it well, says Fernando. Now we're getting the ABBA jokes coming in. Good stuff. Good luck with your YouTube channel, brother, says Paul Smith. Thank you, Paul. If you want to give me, I don't want good luck. I want a subscriber. Subscribe. Join me. That'd be brilliant. Right. We've run out of time. I've run out of contributors as well. That was good. I quite enjoyed that. That was a bit of a romp. I made another one earlier about 2:30 this 2 o'clock this afternoon. Find that one if you can. What's it about? What's it called? What's it about? It's weird, you know, when you do this gig. You forget what your last one was about. Jackie Ward sent me three red hearts. Thank you very much indeed. Maggie Young says, what's the score against the Blades? Oh, nice question, Maggie. How brilliant were Coventry at the weekend, eh? And how shit were West Bromwich Albion? They were appalling. I used to like the Baggies. When I was at university, I used to go to the Baggies a few times. And anyway, got a friend who's a doctor, who's a big Baggies fan. And of course, you've always got Adrian there, haven't you? And Frank Skinner. I don't mind the Baggies, especially when you compare to the Villa. What's the score going to be against Sheffield? I think we'll hammer them. 3-1 again. 3-1, I think, will be the score. Did you see Gus kick that guy in the Ghoulies? Can't we get him back? Mind you, we're playing well now. We're playing well. But see, I think we're all being a bit greedy now. We want to actually win the division, don't we? Farage have turned into the Labour Party, says Soviet British Union. Does Matron know you're on the computer? What was I going to tell you a minute ago? I was just going to tell you something. And it's gone out of my mind. You watch. The moment I can log off, it'll come back. And it's probably a funny line. Anyway, listen. I've enjoyed that. Hope you have. It's exactly what I needed. Lots of people watching. Lots of people joining in. Unfortunately, nobody giving me any money. Sometimes you lot are hard work. You're bloody hard. You're harder than the second house at the Glasgow Empire, as Stanley Baxter would say. That was shocking. That's the thing I wanted to say. Stanley Baxter was not mentioned at the BAFTAs. You know, they do like all the people have died, and that woman sang that lovely song. No mention of Stanley Baxter. The greatest pantomime performer the world's ever seen. And do you remember his big spectaculars he used to do on ITV? The guy was a genius. And if you've that joke about the King's Theatre in Glasgow, I saw him there and I saw him in Edinburgh a couple of times. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And they didn't mention him. And he passed away just a few weeks ago, didn't he? Pamela Millett says, Mandelson this afternoon. What do you mean Mandelson this afternoon, Pam? He's gone. He has gone. Starmer next. Starmer's on the bingo card. When's he going to go? Huh? He's in trouble again, and there's another scandal he's involved in. Breaking into a safe or something. I haven't even really read up on it. I just lost the will to live after the first paragraph. Okay, I'm off. Thank you very much indeed for joining in. If you can donate, please do so. You can always do it later. www.buymeacoffee.com. Spread the word and join JonGauntTV on YouTube. JonGauntTV on YouTube. I've really enjoyed that. That was I was going to say to you. What was my thing about earlier? Oh, it was about Andrew. I'm a bit uncomfortable about the way everyone's ganged up on Andrew. I've got no time for him, and I certainly wouldn't want him to come around for Sunday lunch, and I wouldn't let him babysit the kids. No chance. But it's a bit over the top, isn't it? The way the media have gone at him. Encouraged by stuff. Oh, did you see that Albanese? Ebenezer, as I call him, right? He should be in a panto. He's the Prime Minister of Australia. He's the twat who allowed 300,000 Muslim radicals to walk over Sydney Harbour Bridge, and then was surprised a few weeks later when a madman attacked Bondi Beach. And then he apologised. Do you remember? He's about as much use as a chocolate fire gun. Well, the BBC were going, oh, the Prime Minister of Australia is backing the King, they said. The King's not said anything about it. But backing Starmer about removing Andrew from the line, to become King. Well, one, he's 8th in line, so he's never going to become it, right? So that's number one. Number two, it's not really right to talk about it before he's even been charged or even been on trial. Is it? I don't think it is. The papers were full of it. I really don't. I said this on Twitter. I had about 90,000 people wanting to kill me because of my opinion and saying you're a non-supporter. Well, if you know me, that's the last thing I am. I don't know. It's madness. But I made a podcast about it today. Have a listen. You might enjoy it. Or you might just want to get a voodoo doll, stick pins in. It's up to you. Well, I'm going because I've had enough. Kevin Blackburn says, hell yes. Hell yes what? Did that make sense when you wrote it? Pam Millett says, Reeves has emptied my bank account of £1,000 of tax. Yep. And many others too. Oh, I'm going to try and get Rick on, my mate, you know, who runs Naycott Hall, the hotel. Did you see The Lady last night on ITV? First episode. It's all about the woman who was Fergie's, not the Man United manager, the one in the royal family who was married to Prince Andrew. Her dresser, she came from Grimsby. They've made about 20-odd programmes about this murder. She murdered Tommy in his bed, right, who's Rick's brother, battered him with a cricket bat and then stabbed him through the heart. But they keep making programmes about it. And they've made another one, a series. Now, I sat down, I was on my own last night, I watched it. It was actually brilliantly made. I've got to say this to Rick. But no regard for the trauma they're putting him through and his family. Brother's been dead, I think it was 1990. Sometimes these arseholes who run TV companies, they've got the morals of an alley cat. And then they get upset when somebody calls them a horrible word, which you shouldn't use, but the bloke's disabled. I thought they would be kind. No? What's the point of making a film about Tourette's if then when somebody who it's based on says a word they shouldn't say but can't help it, and the whole entertainment world turn against them? Oh, and Narinder Kaur, or whatever her name is. Oh, the best thing about her, she went to India. She went on and on and on and on and on about how great India was. Then she got the shits. She got the Delhi belly. I hate thick people more than anything. I don't know about you. And she's thick. She is thick. Must get her on as a guest. Right, I'm off. Den Spink says, good show. You're right, correct. But I'm going now. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Might be an extra one, depending on what happens overnight with Mandelson or whatever else. But I'll be back tomorrow at 6. If you want to join in, feel free. If you want to have a look at my YouTube channel, it's JonGauntTV. Do so. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping make it successful. What's this? Oh, hello, John Gaunt. You spelt my name wrong, which is a big mistake. There's no H in my John. And the mods and chats. I haven't got any mods. I've got no stuff. You think I've got stuff? Well, Reform are panicking big time now that Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain are quickly becoming the patriotic party. It's a fair opinion, John. I disagree with you. I don't think they're panicking. But and I don't think Rupert Lowe's got a cat in hell's chance of getting elected. I'm not saying I'm against him. I'm not. I'm just saying it's logic. Thursday will be interesting, won't it? Right, I'm off. If you got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. Thanks for making the show so successful. See you tomorrow at 6. Bye.